Oh, I would help him read out the fourth one, but I don't have it queued up. I don't have it here. Did I give you number
Talking
4?
about, we have Laura McNeil on Facebook talking about Dangerous Lies, saying, I tried to watch and but even I gave up on this movie.
Yeah. That have you seen Dangerous Lies on Netflix?
Not, and you have not sold it for me, Laura McNeil.
I don't know if you saw my review for it, but it was so much trash. I just could not. I'm sorry. It was so bad. It made me cringe so many times. Like, oh my god! Like, it was nothing about that movie I can recommend. I couldn't even say this is one of those movies where you got to see at least one time. People will have a good time. There's people who probably like this movie and love it, but it's not for, I don't know, anybody who I don't know. I just can't explain it. It's just not for me, I guess. And it's just, so far, it's not for anybody else that I've seen comments on it.
I'm hearing 2 thumbs down, so.
I don't, like I said, but you can watch it and think, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Chris. That was great. Oscar, please. I mean, I don't know, because it's subjective, but I haven't read a comment yet of praise for the lighting was good.
Ooh.
Ooh.
No, I was just talking to someone. It's like, I have to be told at least 3 times something is good before I even bother watching it. So, people, the second I hear, and I didn't like it, I'm like, all right, never mind. There's an
no. That talk about how bad that movie was. I'm having technical difficulties.
Your bookcase was a big fan, apparently.
Obviously, what the hell, Chris? I'm leaving. But no, it's not that great. Regarding Buffy, again, this is from YouTube, from Tasteful Tuna. Last I heard, Monica Owusu Breen, I hope I said that right, was going to be shopping around a legacy spinoff with a new Slayer. This is again about Buffy, with Joss overseeing and consulting on the project, but not directly running it. I'd be interested to see that, but I don't know what the current status is. I haven't heard anything new in a while. I looked it up, and you're right with that is the showrunner who is writing, and I guess unfortunately or fortunately for the first commenter, was it No Diggity that she is Josh Whedon hired a black woman to be the showrunner of the spinoff. So it is what it is. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about the show. I heard that it's going to be in the same universe. I don't know if it's going to continue after the last episode or last season, or if it's going to continue after the comic book, because it had 7 seasons, and then it had a season 8 that was just all in the comic book form. So we don't know if we don't know anything about it. There's a lot of speculation online. But I'm gonna wait until the trailer comes out, if a trailer comes out. I'm sure this whole pandemic thing has definitely slowed down production. It could be greenlit today, and it might be canceled tomorrow, for all we know. We don't know. So I'll believe it when I see a trailer. But I don't know. Did you research anything? Did you see anything about any new Buffy news? But you haven't seen.
No, I'm not. I mean, again, I got a lot of catching up to do on Buffy, but just hearing you talk about it and hearing that theory, it sounds like a cool way to go with it. I'm always pro. Unlike our friend No Diggity, I think, bringing a new voice and, someone with a little different perspective on it sounds really cool. So fingers crossed, it pulls through what we're going through right now.
And I said that was going to be the last one for before we close out, but we have time. I saw what the next one was, and I at least got to get this one in for you. If you, I don't know if you still have it queued up. What was it, number 7?
Mm-hmm.
You want? I have it up. If you want me to read, you want me to go for it? Oh, you know what? Let me. I won't do that to you. Let me just read it for you. So, Amy Newman thinks that Baskin is innocent because. What's the slogan again? Believe all women. That was from what is this? Orwellian
2. Let me tell you, Orwellian, you did it. You figured it out. The secret feminist agenda. What we were really saying was not please stop sexually abusing us. No. This is about women feeding their husbands to tigers and getting away with it.
I knew it.
Proud of you. I'm proud. He cracked our code.
Yeah, he figured it out.
I'm really proud of him, and I'm really happy for him. When we come up with the slogan next time, we'll remember to make it a little more specific so you can figure it out. But all right.
I mean, I think throughout that conversation, if I remember correctly, I am or was on the whole. I believe she did it. But you hit me with a lot of logical responses. Not, I mean, you don't know any of these people. It's not like you're championing, but
no. And good God, if they came out tomorrow and were like, "Here's the proof we found that she did it," I'd be like, "Oh, all right. I was wrong. I'm completely making things up off of 8 hours of a stupid documentary I watched, of which like 1 hour was about her. Yeah, I don't care. This is not a whatever, man.
I mean, to be fair, you came up with your conclusion based on the fact that, I mean, if the police and the FBI and all, if they couldn't make these, why? Then I don't think we're ever gonna figure out what happened. This guy could just disappeared. I think you pointed out that was her ex-husband like the kind of guy that would just do something like that? I forgot.
He was flying his plane without really below normal flight path. There was a lot going on there that I think the documentary painted a narrative. Like I said, if they come out tomorrow and say she did it,
we found his femur in the
in the tiger's mouth.
In the tiger dung.
Yeah. But I feel like Orwellian here trying to do the believe all women thing. It's sort of the Princess Bride. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
What you think it means. But it was just funny. It's like, of course, Amy believes Carol Baskins. We're supposed to believe all women. I'm like,
oh, and everybody's gonna love this because it's written by a black woman. I don't think you guys know what's going on. Turn off the computer and go outside. I think it's gonna be all right. Don't go outside right now. That's still a bad idea. But
exactly. I mean, you can go to the backyard or whatever, to the balcony, and just embrace a little sunlight, just the warmth of the sun instead of the glow of the computer. You know, unless you're subscribing to T380s, keep it right here. But I agree. It was just such a weird comment to just throw out there.
Like, why are we picking this fight about this? Like, all right, bud.
Of course, Amy is. You
don't know me. It's actually just my dad in the other room. Like, classic Amy. I love the first name, last name. Yeah. Made me feel famous, honestly. Sarah, you underestimate how much I'll take any attention. Positive, negative, yum yum.
Can you imagine if this is the same person that Billie Eilish is dealing with? This guy's just making rounds. That's what we got to worry about. Especially, like, you're right. I just realized that the guy did use your name. I can read a lower third. What is this, Amy Newman? Well, let me tell you.
I'm about to get doxxed, Chris. If I get doxxed for this,
tack it on. So from regarding Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Black Lives Matter moment. So so the JustinCinema commented, I searched instantly for this after finally watching the episode and was so glad to find your video, a gem of a moment in the Arrowverse that may never be topped. So I don't know, did you watch any of that Crisis on Infinite Earths, the WB, where they have Arrow, Supergirl, all their characters coming together? So it's like every year they do their version of the Avengers.
The Avengers, yeah.
And there's a new show that I think it was on the second or third season that finally joined in on the whole crisis, which is Black Lightning. And there's on the Arrow show, there is a character, his name is Diggle, and is a black man. He's Green Arrow's best friend. And there was a moment where they were in the same scene together, and one I think, who was it? I think it was Diggle who said, we'll help you, we'll do whatever it takes, and we'll do it by any means necessary. And then he looks over at the other black guy in the room, and he gives a little nod, and the guy nods right back. And I immediately freaked out, went straight on the channel and said, "Did you see that?" Because nobody was talking about it. I looked online to see if anybody was talking about it, and nobody was talking about it. So I did like a 5-minute or 10-minute, maybe it was 20 minutes, I don't know, rant about how the two black, like that's something that we will do. It's just something we do. I don't know. It's just a thing we do. Like, we have a moment, was like, by any means necessary, like, and the other guy's like, and though there was a third black person in the room, so the Flash is also there, and his wife is black, and they pan to them two, the Flash and his wife, and the Flash caught it. He's like, the look on his face was like, and I talked about this on the video. It was like, something just happened, and like his wife was all like just standing there with her arms crossed, like I could just telepathically just tell. She was like, yes, you saw what you saw, and I was just making a joke about it. Like, I've been married to a black woman long enough to realize I think something just happened there. So I just kept joking about the whole scenario, making it more than what it was. But I got a lot of comments from people going, "You were the only person online that talked about that moment." I mean, it was funny to me. I just thought it was funny. I just thought of all the things that they talked about. Oh my gosh, Superman was here, and those guys, the guy who played Batman back in the day showed up, and all these cameos from people from different TV shows, from Smallville, he came back, and this guy came back, and all these people who played these characters came back. They had a lot of cameos, but the one thing I'm talking about is that's all. That was my.
Hey, I'm always the one who's like, superhero stuff can be cool, but the stuff that I think resonates is just those little human moments. It's like, if those ring true, that's going to really elevate it. So
it was my moment. All right, what's the next question?
I love it. All right, we got a little more talk about the Buffy reboot. Alice Quinn on YouTube saying the consensus is a spinoff with cameos from the original cast. Something that takes place in the same universe, but honors the story of the original cast of characters. Maybe even a version of something from the comics. So you were talking about those comics, of if there's going to be sort of more pulled from the show or the comics or what they're looking at there. So that sounds. That was. From, I don't know. You're the Buffy, the buffer,
yeah,
the Buffy.
We talked about this on the last episode of Talking to the Medias. Where we had a couple of comments, some nice, some not so nice, about the upcoming show. So Alice Quinn here, I guess, was elaborating on it. Maybe he saw the conversations that were being had and shed a little light on it about what it's going to be about, and that's probably where I got my information from. I remember reading this comment and then looking into it a little bit further, that it was going to be in the same universe, but still a spinoff with the original cast showing up a little bit. But it's kind of like what's going on, like what we were talking about with the WB with their characters, bringing in people who played like they had the guy who played the Flash from the old '90s TV show. He is the current Flash's father, but not the Flash. And then he got to be the Flash again because we're talking about multiple Earths and different dimensions where this Flash from this TV show gets to meet the Flash from the '90s TV show and things like this funny stuff like that. So that's probably what it's going to be, or maybe the original cast is maybe it's going to be the same universe, or maybe the original cast is just going to make cameos playing different characters. Like I said, we don't know yet. I'm okay either way it goes. I'm just happy to get more Buffy. And possibly more Spike. I know you don't know what I mean when I say more Spike, but trust me, if I was a betting man, I would bet if you start watching Buffy, you're not going to be an Angel fan. You're going to be a Spike fan.
Oh.
I think you're a Spike girl. I think you're a Spike person. Who is Spike? Who is this? Spike?
You just BuzzFeed. You're trying to pique my interest by BuzzFeed quizzing me.
Like, are you pro Buffy Angel? Or are you pro Buffy Spike? Which team are you on, Amy? As
long
Newman?
as she's happy. As long as she's happy.
She had a little from column A and a little from column B. That's all I'm gonna say.
Probably happy.
All right. So then the next one, next question came in from Evelyn Izaquirre. I don't even know if I'm saying it. Azalea? No. I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Evelyn Izaquirre. regarding the Cobra Kai talk video that I did, where I said that Daniel LaRusso was the real bully of that movie of the Karate Kid franchise. If you think of, so let me read what she says. Also, Johnny was the bully because after the beach fight, Johnny told one of his friends to trip Danny on purpose during the soccer field. Then Johnny put put pie on Daniel's butt. I don't remember that happening, to make fun of him, and then they pushed him down a giant hill. I don't remember the pie part, but no, okay, no. Look, and I'm going to do my my Obi-Wan Kenobi thing from Star Wars from a different point of view. I mean, people look at those Star Wars movies and say the rebels were the good guys and the Empire were the bad guys. But if you grew up on an Empire-controlled world, and you enlist in the army, you have a family, you have your children, you're trying to, you're a respectful, good guy, you're always, you're keeping your community safe and clean, you love your wife, you love your kids, and all of a sudden you go out and then these ass hats and these spaceships blow up your space station. You didn't have anything to do with the personal politics, right? Just a guy doing your job.
I am going to say, if you're on the side that built something called the Death Star, I feel like you have to have your like, are we the baddies moment somewhere in there.
Oh, look, Billy, Dad's off to go back to work on the Death Star. Do your homework. Oh my God, why are you always able to just shut me down no matter what? But look, Daniel LaRusso, if you listen to what Johnny had to say, and I don't know why some lint just so something flew in my. If you listen to Johnny, this was a man who knew his girlfriend, that every year they would have their makeup breakup moments. And then all of a sudden, they were having, according to him, their typical little fight. She's mad about something I said or did today, but next week we're going to go out and, it's all good. And we're going to be hugging and kissing like we always do. This is our routine. But this summer was different. Then all of a sudden, this asshat from Jersey shows up. He's flirting with her. I'm like, dude, this is my girlfriend. Back off. He warned him multiple times. And Danny would. Now, if you listen to Johnny tell the story, he has a lot of logical beefs against Danny's interference.
I feel like I'm in high school right now. Like, well, she said, and he put pie on his butt. I'm like, what? I don't know anymore. Maybe y'all suck. Maybe everybody here is just kind of a bully.
It's probably true. But you watch the Karate Kid movies from back in the day? Not even the Cobra Kai series? Is this?
No.
Oh my!
I don't know why I'm here.
Back to the Future. So you didn't watch any of the Karate Kids. So you didn't.
I don't know. I feel like there's that weird thing with stuff like that when it's like pre your generation, so it's pure, but it's kind of a kid's thing. Like, not to shit on it, but like if your parents don't raise you on it, you just kind of miss it. It's one of those for me.
I'm forcing it on my kid, and it's not really. You don't have to watch the second and third one. I mean, they had the Cobra Kai. I mean, the Cobra Kai. They had the Karate Kid movie, and then they had what about the remake of it, with the one with Will Smith's son? Did you see that one with Jackie Chan?
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay, so because
did anyone see that one?
I mean, I liked it, but even if you saw that, it would still give you the gist.
But I wasn't going to see a reboot of a thing I didn't see.
Yeah, that's true. But it might have interested you to see the original. But if you watch the original one, you could follow the Cobra Kai. So they had the little high school drama where the new kid comes from Jersey, moves to California. He's a new guy in school. He sees his girl that he likes. She seems to be breaking up with her boyfriend. So he's like, I'm going to make my move. And like, buddy, no, she's still my girlfriend. Oh, and by the way, me and all my friends know karate. So we're going to kick your ass if you don't leave me alone right now. He obviously doesn't leave her alone, and he gets his ass kicked until he learns karate himself and then defeats the whole group. That's pretty much that's spoiler, but that's pretty much, the Karate Kid.
When does the pie in the butt happen? Because
I think that was at a party or something like that. I can't remember.
Wacky.
The whole thing with the and I think that wasn't a Steven Spielberg movie. Was Cobra Kai Steven? But the whole thing about the back and forth between him and the main character Johnny and not I'm sorry Daniel LaRusso, the main character, and then the bully Johnny, who used to play that guy used to play bullies all the time, like Can't Buy Me Love, all those old movies from back in the 80s. He was always the bully, and he talked about that on an episode of How I Met Your Mother when he was.
Yeah, I did see that.
He's like, I was always the bully, and that was the real reason why I started becoming a Johnny fan. When you heard Neil Patrick Harris talk about how he was the real Karate Kid, not Daniel LaRusso, that's when I started thinking, was Danny the bully all along? So on the TV series that's on YouTube TV called Cobra Kai, Johnny, who was defeated in the karate tournament, he pretty much leads a boring little mediocre nothing of like life. He's pretty much an average dude now. And Danny becomes a successful, he's like a car salesman now. He's famous in the town. Right? Remember when I won that karate tournament? Well, come on and buy a new car, kind of a guy, kind of a car salesman, kind of a guy living in the success from his past, while Johnny's now like a drunk and a loser kind of mentality. But then he decides to reopen his old karate dojo and bring honor back to it, because his teacher was a bad man. He encouraged those kids to jump and beat up one kid who didn't know karate and stuff like that. So imagine 30 years later, you got two guys, one who feels like he defeated a very bad karate dojo mentality, and another guy who was a part of that culture who wants to bring it back. Of course, these two guys are gonna like be at war with each other. Like I don't want my daughter associating with your son if you're gonna bring that dojo back and everything that came with it, no mercy and all that stuff. I don't want you guys are bad news and I don't want anything to do with it. But on the other side, he's like, dude, I was a teenager. I had problems. Like little stuff like that teacher, even though he was a bad teacher, he was still like a father figure to me. And by the way, that was my girlfriend, and you were still trying to, interfere with my girl. That's what the show is pretty much about. Like I'm not the bully, you're the bully, And then when you think that they're gonna see eye to eye, something happens, and it's so addictive to me. But I'm a Karate Kid fan. So I don't know if I even talked you into it. I probably just bored you to death, but the Cobra Kai TV show. It's interesting if you were a fan of the Karate Kid movie, at least. So she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah. If you like it, I love it.
I feel like I just had like a lesson on like morality. I don't know. I'm like,
it's very interesting.
We're all the hero of our own story.
I look at it as
a lot of gray area in life.
It is. It's if
call my high school bully and see if she's okay.
Are you okay? I'm like oh my god! I wonder how many people actually do that. Reach out to an old bully and they're still a bully. I'm doing better than you.
I ran into a bully. Like no, I ran into this is not. I ran into my elementary school bully at a bar. And I talked to her for 30 seconds. And she made some bitchy passive aggressive comment. I'm just like, well, bye.
So she was still kind of a bully.
She didn't grow up at all. I was like, okay, well, I'm still a loser, but at least I'm not mean.
I would steal your Jello again if I wanted to. I could steal your Jello if I want to.
That's not what girls do. That's boys. Girls ruin your life.
I think I heard something like that. Didn't Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Seinfeld say something like that? We just talk about them so bad until they develop some kind of a disorder or something like. She made.
Oh, truly, like in elementary school, I was bullied so badly.
Me too.
I never got hit or anything, but I was just ostracized. It was awful. Anyways,
you girls are
that explains a lot about me. I think little window into.
You're like, yeah, so I'm not going to be watching that Cobra Kai, by the way.
You're in the middle of your story, are you crying?
Chris, why did you bring all that up? All right, so the last comment that came in before we closed the show, this was I guess this is regarding an interview I did with a TikTok famous person named who calls herself Dillweed. I know it says Dillweed on there, but it's Dillweed. And she
that somehow makes both more and less sense. But go on.
Roberto's ceja says, "You seen her? Have you seen her OnlyFans site? The shit is fire." I thought that I should take this one. If you don't mind, Amy, I'm going to honestly look Mr. Roberto into the eye and say, honestly, I am aware that Miss Dillweed has a OnlyFans site, and I am aware that she probably does more risque things than she does on TikTok. But no, I am not subscribed to anyone's OnlyFans site, nor will I ever. Not because I'm above, things like that. But if I'm going to look at stuff like that, I'm going to look at the free stuff. It's just me.
Good. So it's not that you're like above it. You're just too
not
cheap
gonna pay
to
for it. I'm
support
just not
the
gonna
artist.
pay for
I love
it.
how that's your high horse of like. It's not that I don't want to look at explicit content. I just don't want to support the people who make it.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. I am a fan of Dillweed's free content on her TikTok because she is hilarious. She's the most fun. It was one of the most interesting interviews I ever did. I didn't even know she had an OnlyFans site until after I interviewed her. And then, but she revealed that. I think she commented. Oh, interesting thing. It was on her Twitter account. She commented about how I think somebody hacked it or leaked some of the stuff that she does on that and whatnot. And I was like, "What? You do that?" And
then you looked it up because it was free.
Was not going to admit. No. Oh, okay. Look. Google it exists. So okay. I might have said that whole line where I said, "What, you do that," making it seem like I was judging. Like, what, you do that? You probably caught me. I'm like, what? It's out there for free. I might have Googled it. Okay, maybe I did, but it was not. There was nothing there, and I'm glad I didn't see anything. Okay, she's honestly, she's real cool about it. I mean, if you ask her, she'll talk about it. But I didn't know about it, so I didn't ask her. But on her TikTok and on her Twitter, she even called out the people who did it. I mean, she's a hilarious person. So it's like nobody's taking her strength or her power away from her. But if you are on Twitter, not Twitter, or you can follow her on Twitter too. I think she spells Dillweed in a different way. I think one of the L's is actually like maybe it's a lowercase I or something like that, or not a lowercase I or a lowercase L, and the other one is I don't know what the symbol. What is it? It's she spells it in a different way. I feel like
if you search Dillweed, she'll probably be the first one that comes up.
She probably will be. Look her up on TikTok. Look up Dillweed. She's
for her OnlyFans. Don't be like Chris. Support people doing the work you want to see.
You can support her. I mean, you can. I'm not judging what she does.
I'm not gonna pay for OnlyFans because
I might start a OnlyFans site someday. It might not be explicit, or maybe it will be. Who knows? I mean, if the
just throw in one, be like comedy OnlyFans, and then one.
That one fan. That'll be there. Probably be my fiance. She's like, woo, like, show me what you got. I'm like, well, I got to do what I got to do,
The fans have asked.
But I mean, hey. So I still follow her to this day. She's hilarious. She loves Sonic. And here's the real reason why I won't look her up on that content is because we talked about the things that she supports, which is like Sonic the Hedgehog. She's a major Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and we talked about my children also being a Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
She's your buddy at this point. I get that. I respect that.
And whenever she was on TikTok live streaming, like answering comments and stuff, this is how cool she is. She's a curse. She talks like a sailor if she wants, because she's hilarious. She's a good adult. She curses, but I had my daughter, because my daughter likes when she talks about Sonic the Hedgehog, and I had my daughter watching her with me on my phone. And then the second she cursed, I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Hey, my daughter is watching," and I totally expected her to go, "Hey, well, dude, why do you have your daughter on on my channel? You know what this channel is about, what I talk about, and the jokes that I tell." But she was like, "Oops, I didn't. Sorry, Chris. I'm gonna stop swearing." Right? And she totally just stopped swearing, and I had to let her off the hook. I said, "Okay, I'm taking the phone away from her so you can go back to normal mode." And she was like, "All right, let's." She began the cursing up again. But that's how I see her. So she's like you said, she's a friend at this point. So.
Like I said, you wouldn't subscribe to your buddy's OnlyFans, probably.
No.
So
no, if my best friend came up to me and was like, "Hey Chris, you can also, support me on this and on Pornhub or something like that," I'd be like, "Okay, dude, no, that's not gonna happen."
I'm gonna then you $20 because I'm proud of you. But
yeah, exactly. But don't
I don't need to. I don't.
I would have rather have learned that on my own, sir. I don't need you to solicit.
Like through the video, like penis.
Like, why do you think we're still friends, sir? I'm proud of you, but no, I mean, I'm not gonna look it up. Did I? Maybe, but I'm not going to look anymore. Okay.
Chris, put the shovel down. You can be done digging this hole.
All right. Okay. All right. So that's all. I think that was the last extra question that we had from the previous episode. I appreciate you. I know I probably kept you longer than you wanted, but I appreciate you answering these comments with me. Guys, remember, if you want to send us a comment for us to answer on We Got Your Mail, you can just hit us up on any of the social medias, T3 Media. I'm all the sorry.
If you scream into the void loud enough, I will hear you too.
Exactly. Just, "Hey man, I know you just believe on women." But just call is
someone talking about me? Attention.
Exactly. That's just instead of at T3 Media, it's just yell out into the sky, and Amy will respond. So, and anytime, anywhere, we'll hit you up right here on We Got Your Mail. Okay, that'll do it, guys. I'm gonna let Amy go. I know she's got more important things to do, like catching up to Buffy, the Vampire
I'm gonna
Slayer.
go sleep.
Oh, okay. Or that. Or that. But
I could put it on. I'll fall asleep though. I fall asleep during everything. That's another story for another day.
There's no crying at baseball. Life finds a way, and you cannot sleep on Buffy. Those are the three things in life.
Then I'll watch it at like noon because I'm a grandma.
It has ever recapped. They'd be like, "Wow, that was amazing."
You have Morgan Freeman. And as the Nutcracker rises from the ashes,
web slinging, wall crawling, spider sense.
And it looks good, and I was excited every time the symbiote came on screen. I decided, what are they going to do now?